I'm a fan of weighted student staffing. I'm glad that we're using that. The numbers show that it's effective. And I know that before we adopted weighted student staffing, there were some other formulas considered for how to allocate additional teachers to the schools that needed them most. And so I have not dug into the research enough to say we should have gone with these other formulas rather than weighted student staffing. But I will say weighted student staffing is working. And I'm glad that we're sending extra. The bottom line is I'm glad that we're sending extra teachers to the schools that need them most.
Talk a little bit more. You mentioned teachers there and the number of teachers in smaller class sizes for schools that most greatly need them. But part of the question is also has to do with the experience level, quality, the quality of teachers that goes to that school as part of resources, as well as resources in terms of books and materials, computers, even facilities. There was a baseline, policy that dealt with baseline standards and resources, including quality of staffing that went to schools, and it was done away with last year. Do you feel that was an appropriate action of the board? And if not, what would you do to deal with this situation?
So the specific question about the baseline standards, I'm not sure that I am ready to answer, to give a really informed opinion about that. I wish that I had done a little more research over the last few days on that, but in general, it is absolutely key to get the best teachers possible into the schools, best teachers possible with the skills to help children of poverty into the schools where they're needed, and to support those teachers with the tools and the support network that they need. So how do we do that? You know, that's the million-dollar question. And how do we make sure it's happening? So can we make sure that is happening without an equity committee? I don't know. I can't give you the answer to that right now, but it's certainly something that we need to keep an eye on.
In terms of attracting or retaining teachers, quality teachers to those schools, can you talk a little bit more then about how you would know whether in fact you have balanced experience, levels of teachers, or whatever the things that you would perceive as quality? How would you know whether you have them there or not, and any steps that you might take to see that they stay?
So I mean, and ultimately, long term, we need to be attracting. We need to be setting a culture where we are attracting the best, more great teachers. We need more great teachers to go around, and that's really a long-term goal. Some of that has to do with funding. We need to be able to pay teachers like the professionals that they are. We need funding for professional development. Ask the rest of your question. Oh, so how do we
attract teachers to those
particular schools?
Yeah, we're talking about resources to
schools
with high needs.
Yeah, a lot of that is, I think those teachers are going to follow the phenomenal principles. So it's getting the most dynamic and talented principals into those schools. And then giving the teachers the support that they need, which is, you know, family support is a challenge. And the office, there's an office of family and community development that does great work with fostering family support. But they're terribly understaffed. And so I think it would be a great investment to support that department a little bit better. And then, you know, partnering with faith institutions, the nonprofits, people in the business community. There's a lot of talent out there in this community and a lot of goodwill. And I think that we can do a better job of harnessing that to support the teachers in our high poverty schools. And so the tasks of the teachers can be almost overwhelming, and they absolutely need that sort of wraparound support, and that's going to be up to all of us to step up and provide it.
Hold on a second, Louise. Let me ask you this, Elyse. Attracting teachers to and retaining teachers in those schools, those needy schools. Comparatively speaking, on the police department, you don't get to say where you're assigned. You're put there. Are you opposed to just telling the teacher, you're what I need here because you've got the displayed talents and and all of what it takes? So I'm going to put you over here. Would you be able to do that?
There are pros and cons.
I'm sure.
Because, I mean, in the ideal situation, teachers go because they want to go. And if a teacher resents their job assignment, they're not going to be as effective and they're not going to stick around in the profession as long. So I would rather have the carrot approach rather than the stick approach. And then you've also got this challenge of certain teachers it's just, a teacher may be phenomenally talented in this specialty and not in this specialty. I have a friend who is an incredible IB AP English teacher, and she's teaching literacy right now to 9th graders, and that's not her skill set, and she's beating herself up. She's doing her very best, and she just feels like she's not doing well. She's not doing a good job, and that's painful to watch. So, you know, she wishes she could be doing what she does best, and that someone who is most skilled at teaching literacy was in the literacy position. So it's a challenge.
I think that's an interesting illustration because even in schools, sometimes teachers are assigned different things. For example, I don't know where your friend is, but there might be a tremendous need for an IB AP teacher in a school that is a high needs school. Might be a better fit. But we don't reassign within schools, but not to another school. Any response to that?
So you're saying that you're saying that the principal has the prerogative to reassign within the school, but you're suggesting that we need more flexibility to reassign teachers across schools.
Well, we're really just asking the question, but I think the concern people often have is teachers would not be happy because maybe they don't fit. And what I was suggesting is that in your situation you illustrated, actually the teacher did not fit very well within the school, and we do that.
Right.
But we don't reassign, for example, APID, which is where she would fit, in another school, even though there might be a desperate need for that.
Right.
So we may use a double standard there.
Yeah. That makes sense.